John Marshall at Links FM 102.2. My guests are here. They are the one and only Kings of Leon. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Great.
I'm very well. It's great to talk to you. And let's start by saying congratulations on the success of album number 5, Come Around Sundown. What's it like, guys, being in a band that is so big and so popular all over the world?
It's pretty great. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird at times when people say things like that because we don't really think of it that way too much.
But it's true, and it's happening all over the place. The last album was Only by the Night, and it sold over 6 million copies. That's staggering, isn't it? And 4 Grammys and 2 Brits. And when you head into a studio to record the follow-up to that, is it in your mind that you need to do maybe even better than that, or do you try and put the past out of your minds?
I mean, you can't help but think about it. I mean, we think, it'd be nice to have the same success as the last record, but I think in the end we just have to put it out of our minds and just do the best that we can, really, and just try to make another record. Hopefully the fans will like it.
When the new album was finished, do you go listen to it and say, does this match up?
No, I mean, every record we've done so far, we didn't have to think about anything going in, we just got to go in there and do what we wanted. So during this album, the only thing we were really nervous about was the fact that, we didn't want other people that work for us, like record label, for example, to come in there and, try to tell us, like, okay, you guys need to do this and this. We just wanted to be as comfortable as we always were making our other records, and that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah. I read you were a little surprised yourselves how the tracks turned out on this album, more chilled out than you intended.
Yeah, during the writing process, what we do is we just write song to song. We don't write albums, we just write songs, and, because if you try to write an album, you can end up, hurting the songs. So, once we had gotten done with maybe, about 8 or 9 songs, we realized that there weren't too many fast ones.
Right.
But they were the best songs that we had written at that point, so it didn't really, we couldn't think about it too much.
So when you go into the studio, what stage are the Kings of Leon songs at? Are you ready to just rock out and do the tracks, or are you just got a few notes scribbled down? Where are you?
Well, we're usually about like 60% there.
Right.
We write some stuff on the road and at sound checks and things like that, and then when it's time for the record, we usually go into like a rehearsal space and try to get the songs together the best we can. And it usually ends up the songs aren't finished, but we just go in the studio anyway because we're too excited, and we just end up finishing them there as we, put down the tracks. Kind of like you say, like like arrangement things and stuff like that as we're laying down the tracks. So we kind of almost finish it in the rehearsal space, and then fully finish it in the studio.
How does a Kings of Leon song get written? Who does what?
It's different for every song, really. I mean, Caleb will bring songs. Sometimes he'll bring guitar parts and that aren't songs yet, and he'll have a vocal melody, and we'll write around that. And sometimes Jared will bring in a bass line that everyone likes, and then Nathan will play drums to it, and then I'll figure out a guitar part and like that. And the same way with me, it just it's never the same pattern.
I guess with all bands, there must be fairly regular misses as well. Do you all get to a point during that process and sometimes say no to it?
We don't have too many misses. We'll usually have maybe like 3 or 4. Yeah, not to sound cocky, but we we've got a lot of misses that make the record. So we usually have like 3 or 4 songs that end up not being able to work out completely during each album.
Yeah, we try to get rid of the misses in the rehearsral space so that we don't have to waste our time in the studio. But we usually end up having about 15 ideas.
Do you?
Yeah.
And, I think there are 13 tracks on the new album on there, so, you kept most of them. Radioactive, natural choice for single number 1. Did that all scream out to you as being the first one?
It didn't to me, but I think it was a smart choice. I think it is.
This is Jared speaking, and I was the only one who thought it should be a single. I mean, I didn't know. I had no idea the record label would think it should be the first single. I didn't know they would think it would be a single at all, but when we were recording it, I got the most excited about it, and I used to dance around the studio to it a lot.
And we come to the new single, which is Pyro. Tell us about this one.
This is a song that we were all during every record you make. There's songs that Caleb will like, and like maybe me and Matthew don't like them so much, and there's songs that me and Matthew like that Caleb doesn't like so much. And then every once in a while, there's a couple of songs that you kind of like all agree on, and Pyro was one of those. So it's definitely one that we're all really proud of.
It's a great tune. Let's everybody hear it. This is Kings of Leon and Pyro. Kings of Leon are here. The new single is Pyro. Listen, guys, the way your band got started and you all got together and rose to fame is reads like a film script, really, more than real life. You moved around with the family, then you stopped moving around, listened to some music, and then became one of the biggest bands in the world, is the edited version. Was it as easy as it reads?
Is that not how every band does it?
I'm not so sure.
No, we were together. I mean, I guess the UK saw us grow from tiny to, where we are now. But to most of the world, it seems kind of like an overnight success, and they don't realize that we were starting to play music in 2002. And, it took us 8 years to do it. It's probably harder than it reads.
A series of huge headline dates have been announced for next year. Is playing live the best part of being in this band?
It's definitely a great part of now that we're so popular, we can play to lots and lots of people. But I'd say the best part is actually making records.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, we get to hang out with each other. It's usually when we make the record, we haven't seen each other in a while. So I mean, that's probably the most fun we have is in the studio. It's just us being creative and doing what we do best, I guess.
I'm interested in what you said there about the bigger the gigs that come along. Do you not, as you get bigger and bigger, sometimes crave to play to a small crowd?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I think that the electricity is definitely there a lot more when you have people right in your face. But it's kind of give and take. You don't want to do it all the time, but you don't want to play huge places all the time because it definitely sounds a little bit worse in for the band, at least in a tiny club. But it probably sounds better for the audience. So yeah, we kind of found a balance of every once in a while we'll go back and play a smaller place that kind of it brings us back.
If you did all small gigs, you'd be doing an awful lot of small gigs to keep everybody happy. So you've got to do everything, I guess. And you're going back to Hyde Park, which was an amazing gig you did last year. How was that? Did you thoroughly enjoy that, guys?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a highlight of our career so far.
Yeah, it's the biggest show we ever played. That wasn't a festival, the biggest show of our own. It almost felt like it was our own festival because we got to pick a bunch of bands that we like to open up for us, and we kind of just made it a day of music rather than just a concert. And it made us all so proud.
Fantastic. And you, interestingly, have never had a #1 album in the States. Is that something that bugs you, and would you like to get a #1 album in the States?
I'm furious.
You sound so mad, yeah.
We got so close this time.
Yeah.
It would have been nice, but there's a country act called Sugarland that beat us out. But who cares? It's fine.
Yeah.
Totally.
And what's still on the to-do list for Kings of Leon then? What do you think, when you're laying back and looking at the success, what do you think you'd still like to do?
No, I mean, I think at this point we have so many milestones reached that you just kind of hope to have a maintenance of all that, just try to maintain the level that we're at right now, which is the hardest part. Getting here is easy, it's just staying here is the hard part.
Sure. Are you master planners? Are you like looking ahead next few years, or is it tomorrow you can see?
We master plan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you got like a flow diagram or something showing, 2012, 2013?
No, they write out like rough sketches of what they have planned for us, like our management and stuff like that, and we say yes and no, and
we'll have a big list of like to be confirmed stuff, that it's not like positive yet, but yeah, we definitely, I mean, you kind of have to plan ahead, when I guess you're at the level that we're at. But I think right now we have plans all the way up to this time next year.
Wow. Well, keep it going, because you're making everybody happy with the music, and it all seems to be going well from your point of view as well. Thank you very much for the chat, guys. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.